Hey everybody, Tim Norris here, aka GreyElephant.
And Carmen Norris.
And welcome to a playthrough by GreyElephant Gaming. What are we playing today?
Today we're playing Skyward.
Yes, and this was sent to us by Passport Game Studios. This is a tableau building game where we're each going to be trying to build up our buildings and try to gain as many victory points as we possibly can to hopefully win the game. Well, it would make much more sense if we just show you how. Alright everybody, here we are. We're playing Skyward. And of course I am joined by my beautiful bride, Carmen.
Hi.
She doesn't have her makeup on yet. I cannot show her face or else I get the slap. Psh.
I don't think I look that bad today. I think I'd be okay with it.
I think you look marvelous every day. Alright, so we are not going to play with the expansions. This game does come with like 2 little expansions in the base set. We are not going to play with these. They're not necessary for the enjoyment of the game. But we are now going to teach you on how you play Skyward. So the very first thing that happens is this Carmen is warden denoted by that little token. See, this says, "Hey man, I'm the warden." So what she does is she is going to take 8 cards, because in a 2-player game you take 8 cards. If you had 3, then 12, then 4, 16, and then what you'll do now is she's going to perform what is called the split. Now the split means that she is going to take and make 2 separate piles here. Now if she had 3 players, she'd make probably 3 piles, most likely. You don't have to. I mean, I guess you could make just a pile with just the warden token just to try to get some people to take that, but that'd be a little silly. So now what would end up happening is she's going to put the warden token on one of those piles to try to entice me probably to take that, because if you take the pile with the warden token, you get a cog. And a cog counts as a wild towards trying to build anything, and that'll make sense here in just a second. So she's putting it for, that's for this group right here. Right? Let me explain a little bit about what we've got going on here. All right, so this is a building. See, it says it right there. Hello, I'm a building. So, and this is its ability. This right here tells you that this flag would denote that it's an end game scoring building. Some of them will have lightning bolts. Some of them will have like a circle, which means they're continuous. We'll explain what all of them mean. Right up here, see these 2 symbols? That's what's required to make this building happen. So to be able to build this building, you must have 2 of these symbols. This here is a purple worker. All right, if you notice, he can build 1 because he can build. He has 1 of the symbols. It matches 1 of those, so therefore he is 1 towards building this, which doesn't really help a whole lot given the fact that you'd still need something else. Well, the thing though is that if I did take this and be in the warden, I would immediately get a cog, and that counts as a wild. So technically I would be able to build that. However, she's tricking me, and I know she is, because you see down here, notice it has the little lightning bolt. This means it would go instantly into your tableau. Now this is not a building, it is a vehicle. The game will end when one of us builds a total of 6 buildings. All right. Now, if you notice here that because of the lightning bolt, it would go immediately from this pile here and into your tableau, and you would just play it just like that. And it would be a card that's going to score you victory points at the end of the game. All right. So let's see. So, I see what she's doing. I'm
not doing anything.
I don't really care what she's doing. I'm going to take this pile right here.
I just figured whoever gets the airship, the other person should get the cog. It's only fair. So that's right. What I was doing.
So I am warden, which means that I take this token.
I am disappointed that I didn't get the cog now, though.
The cog is amazing. So now what I do is, so that ship, that blimp will go instantly into her tableau. But remember, that does not count as a building. So now what I can do is I could look through these, and of course I know I've got 1 worker right here. Now if I wanted to, I could try to play it to where I don't build anything this round and just see what else pops out of there. And then that way I don't have to use my cog to build. But at the same time, maybe I still want to do it. So what I would do then is I look through the abilities and I say, oh, okay, he's a +1 victory point for each other of the blue or purple buildings in your airspace. Oh, well, there you go. And I just so happen to have another purple one right here. What does it say? It says +4 victory points if you have more purple buildings in your airspace than your opponent. Now, it's automatically going to be 3 victory points, but that would be 7 total victory points.
So if you were to build both of those, it's probably pretty good odds.
It'd probably be magically delicious. So I am going to build this one. So what I do now is I just play that down. Now it does cost me 2 of these symbols. So what I'll do is I'll discard this worker. You are done. And then I will discard this cog. This building, has been built. And then these 2 cards can stay in my hand. Now, here's the dealio. At the end of your turn, you can discard 3 cards to be able to gain a cog. And if you're not going for certain factions or certain ability, that's probably a good thing to do because cogs are very powerful. All right, that's enough for me. Why don't we see if Carmen's going to build anything?
I am winning. I have 2 points. Oh, wait. Tim's winning now.
I got 3.
He's got 3.
That's right.
Oh, man. I was winning just for a few seconds there. Okay. So I cannot build anything because I only have 1 worker and I do not have any cogs. I could discard these to get a cog, but I'm not going to. I am going to keep them. So that will be it for me.
That'll end the round. So what I do now is I draw 8 more cards, and now that I am the warden, what I'll do is I'll look over these, and we don't need to do this on camera, so that'll give me a little time to think. But I'll look through all these cards, and I'll create 2 separate piles, just like what Carmen did. And when we come back, Carmen's going to select a pile, and then we'll begin round 2.
Okay, well, here's a reminder of what I have.
I couldn't remember what she had because I was looking through the stupid camera.
Yeah.
I hate my life.
See the bonus on this building? That's going to kind of help me to decide what to take.
Ooh, bonus.
So we've got a dude that gives you 2.
Yeah.
And
he's a good builder.
That is a really good builder. And then he comes with a building that
and you can use a wild, which means any builder can build that
The
one.
problem is I don't. Well, actually, I would. I would have enough to build that if I wanted to. Okay. Then down here we've got the warden, which would give me a cog. There's a worker.
Yep.
And there's a blue building that I might be able to build. So I think I will take this one.
I had a feeling you would. I thought it was actually the better selection.
Yeah, because I really need to start getting cogs. I'm sick of never getting cogs, really. So
I hate my
I was
life
pretty much
without
going to
cogs.
take the warden no matter what to make sure that I would get a cog.
Cogs. Say cog again.
I have a cog. Okay, well, I could build with what I have. I could build this. I could build this one.
You want to build
or
a snowman?
this one. And I'm thinking I'm going to go with this one because I'm not really sure if that's going to benefit me yet. So we'll just hang on to that one for a while. So here we go. I'm going to build this. What is it called? Data node. And that is going to cost me this guy. So he gets discarded.
So if you kind of do it like, if you kind of do it like that, then you can still keep track.
And it's going to cost me my cog.
Aw, back to the cog pile.
Cog.
Well,
but
I'm sorry.
I'm going to discard these.
I was going to discard 3 as well.
To get a cog.
Yep.
So
I'm doing the same thing, and then here's your cog, and here's mine.
we have cogs.
And you are Marshall again, aren't you? Or Warden. I'm sorry.
Warden.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when we come back, it'll be round 3. Oh, she has made me a delicious proposition, but not quite as delicious as my Fruitwood Founder's Beer. We're going to go with this one. You can have the Warden token. I mean, I cannot pass up all this.
I wanted
good
the Warden
stuff.
token.
The bad part is I can only build one of these, and that might hurt me a little bit. We'll see. When we come back, I will be taking my action. I think, Carmen, because you took the Warden token, I think you will actually take first action.
Do I go first?
I don't know. I think so. It makes sense, right?
Look at my beautiful cogs. Okay, I'm going to build this observatory. And it's going to give me points for blue buildings that Tim builds. So, haha!
Oh, are you kidding me? What is it again?
+2 for every blue building that you build.
Oh, my lord.
So, in order to pay for that, it's going to cost me a blue worker and any worker. So, I'm going to pay this one and this one.
Oh,
and those
you're a
get
turd.
discarded.
Yes.
Ta-da!
Turd. Gosh, I don't know what I should do. I have all kinds of cool stuff.
Got all kinds of stuff.
Everything's going to cost me 3 workers. So I think what I'll do is I'll just spend these 3 here, because that was a 2er and a 1er. And we are going to build the beacon. So what I'm looking for, now one thing I want to show you guys. I have both the beacons. And how do I know that? You see those 2 like diamonds? Or the right there? Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That's how you know how many of these types of cards are in the deck. So I know that there's only 2 beacons in this entire deck because of those 2 little diamonds right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the beacon, place it down. Now what I am looking for is a landing pad, because if you notice it says +4 if you have a landing pad in your airspace. So these cards could very well be worth 9. Now, Carmen, I already know this because we were looking at it, had already discarded 1 landing pad, because if you notice it's right there and there's only 3 of them in the deck. So I have to try to snag at least 1 of those before the game
Only
ends.
1, and there's 2 more in the deck.
And then I'm going to keep the rest of my cards, my 5 cards here, and I do still have a cog. Carmen, you are Warden.
I am Warden.
So let's get this set up for round 4. Fight! Oh my. Oh my. I can't pass this up.
I decided to be nice.
So I do get a cog for being Warden, and then she's given me more blue and purple, which is going to work well with this one. But she's got that one that's basically giving her points for every blue one I build as well.
Yeah.
But she says she's being nice, but she's really not, because she's the only one who got a worker out of this one. So don't act like you're being all that nice.
I was being nice for giving you the warning of your blue stuff.
The pigeon immediately goes into my play area, and if you notice, he is -2 victory points at the end of the game. But she set it up that the rookery, if I can build this, basically each opponent may send you a pigeon from their airspace. See how it's got like that little, that's once you launch it. And launch means that you play from here and you put it here. And as soon as that happens, then if she had a pigeon, she could send it to me. But I got to build this. And if I'm able to build it, then it goes from -2 to a +1 victory point. Plus, I do get extra victory points for building purple ones because of my bottom ones. So, as you can see, these things really start stacking, which I think is what's cool about the game. Now, I got a decision to make. I'll be right back. All right, so I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend my 1 blue worker. And I am going to build the landing pad. That was exactly what I was looking for. So now this building is worth 9 instead of just 5. So thank you very much, Carmen, for that landing pad.
So that landing pad was worth basically 6 points. And it only cost you 1 worker.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. Okay, and I can only build 1. So now we'll go over to Carmen and we'll see what she decides to do.
So many choices, but I know what I'm doing. I'm going to build this one because it gives me +3 if I have a data node in my airspace, and I do have a data node in my airspace. Finally, we've played this game so many times, I've never been able to match those 2 up.
Yeah, that is the very first time. That's amazing.
There's my little robot dudes. They were worth 2, and that costs 2. So that is it for me. I think I'm going to hang on to these because I still have 2 cogs, so it's not that urgent that I keep them. I mean, get rid of them. This is not easy because that is a really good card. And I like getting cogs.
And you can build it immediately because you got a cog, worker, boom.
Yeah. But I'm going to take this because I don't want him using that rocket cat on me.
Can I sing the song for Rocket Cat? Rocket Cat! Burning up his views up here alone.
Didn't know he had a song.
He does, and I sing it in my head all the time.
He's going to go into my airspace automatically.
And if she had a pigeon, she could launch it at me.
Right, so Tim would launch his pigeon at me, which is -2 points. You look at his pigeon's -2 points.
Yeah, I showed him before. Yes,
and so that would be a 3-point difference if I didn't take this Rocket Cat. So
Rocket
I'm gonna take it.
Sing it, Rocket Cat.
See what kind of goodies I got.
I love singing Rocket Cat.
And I guess
actually.
Tim's first.
Yeah,
so
I'm Warden.
I'll hand the camera.
I'm the
over.
Warden of the North. She's making this hard on me, dude.
Haha.
So yes, it's gonna be a meow meow time. So I'm gonna discard both of them workers, and we're gonna build this one by using a cog on top of that. And then it says, while the steam engine is in your airspace, ignore the wildcard symbol when launching buildings. Check that out. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I was going to discard any, this would be the time to do it. Now, I've built 4 buildings too, so I mean, there's only 2 more buildings to go before this game ends, so I'm only going to get 2 more down, which really stinks. I got so much cool stuff left to do, so. Alright, let's see what Carmen does.
Alright, I am going to build this light bridge because it requires nothing to build it. And you must have at least 2 other these type of buildings in your airspace to launch light bridge. I do have 2, so that's going to go here, and it's going to end up being worth 6 points.
Nice.
Because of this one. Then I'm going to go ahead and discard these for a cog.
So how many cogs did I give you? 3?
3 cogs.
3 cogs. 3 cogs a lady.
And the reason I did that is because this is that color of worker, whereas a cog is universal. I can use it for whatever I want. So there you go. Look at this sweet, sweet deal. I get an airship, airship bay, get to be warden. I think that's a really good deal. I know he wants this stuff really bad. That's going to help him a lot, but it's really not going to help me to take that. So I'll let you have it.
Sounds good to me. Glad we came to a deal.
We did.
Thank you very much. Come again.
Let's make a deal. And I am first. I already know what I'm doing.
Aw, that's good.
I'm going to build this airship bay.
Go figure.
Because it's going to be worth 5 points once I put this other airship out. Ta-da! Okay, and then that cost me 2 wild workers, so why don't I just use this one? That's 2. 2 of any faction. Yeah, okay.
Man, I got so many options, but I mean, the game ends at 6, which really stinks because I mean, I've got such a great thing working here. I am going to play this one. Now, if you recall correctly, I get to ignore the wild card symbol, so I just need 2 purples to be able to build this. +4 if you have more purple buildings in your airspace than your opponent. She has no purple ones. I have 2 now. There's no way she'll get more than me. That will cost me 2 workers, so I'll spend him and 1 cog to be able to do that with. Now, I do not have any need to keep all of these buildings at this point. I might as well just discard down to try to gain more cogs. So I'm thinking I will keep those 3 for sure. We'll keep that one as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to get rid of 1 more. And we will get rid of that one as well. Which I did like that one and I kind of wanted to keep it, but I'm not going to worry about that. So, and that gets me 2 cogs. All right, and this will be the last round. There's no way around it. Which, Carmen, you will be the Warden of the North. So go ahead and draw 8. We're going to split that, and when we come back, whew, we'll get this party started. So, at this point, I've pretty well got a strategy with or without these cards. I'm not giving Carmen that airship. Not happening. You may be the Warden of the North again, because this will be the last round, because winter is coming.
Okay, this is what I was worried about. I was worried that Tim was going to build this, and an opponent must choose a building in their airspace and swap it with jump gate. And so I was afraid he was going to build this and
take your dad a note or take yeah.
All of my buildings are worth more than 3 points. I mean, and they all stack together, so it would really, really mess me up if he did that.
It'd be funny though.
So
I was being nice.
Now I've got to make a decision. Because I think he has this in his hand. I think he still has... See, there's 2. There's 2 of them. I think he has it in his hand, and he can still build it, even though I've got this one. So I could build the airship bay, which would take that airship from him that he just got.
That would be a jerk move. I took that for a reason.
Now, it would be worth 3 points by itself. And then it would be worth another 3 points because I would take his airship, and it would be worth 3 points. And it would take 2 points from him.
Just build it then.
So that would be a total of 8 points.
It'd be rude. Be all rude.
Now the data node would be 7 points. If I built the data node, it would be 7 points. But he could also take the data node away from me if he builds a jump gate now. And I know how he is. He's tricky.
I am the trickster.
But the thing is, see, if we're being nice, maybe if I don't build the airship bay, he won't build a jump gate. Maybe. I'm gonna build it.
Are you stealing my ship?
I'm stealing your ship.
Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Thank you.
So, all right, now it's my turn. My turn. Actually, you can discard.
I gotta pay for it.
Oh, yeah, then you got to discard down too.
So I pay for it with those.
Do you have anything that's giving you victory points for nodes or?
No, I don't. So I don't know what the point would be. But I can
it's
discard
tiebreakers,
anyways,
I believe. So.
Yeah, there, I'll discard those.
There you go.
Here, I get another cog.
So let's see. She thought that I did have that jump gate at one time. I discarded it.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to build the beacon, but first I'm going to build Sky Command. You may launch a blue building without paying its cost. So that's going to cost. I get to ignore the wild, but then I do need to pay still 2. So I'll pay this 1 worker and 1 cog. Now, boom, it activates. Now I can build my beacon, which is going to cost me 2 cogs. Boom, boom. And now that is game, set, and match. All right. So I'll discard these down to gain 1 cog for no reason. And let's add it up, guys. Let's see what we got here. So,
I don't like cogs. I win.
You are the cog queen. There is no doubts about that. So let's bring this over here a little bit closer. And we'll get this set up. I'll show you guys how the scoring works. So all I do is I look at the bottom of my cards. All right, so this little flag signifies that it's an in-game scoring card. So this is saying +1 victory point for each other blue and purple building in your airspace. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It needs a landing pad. We have the landing pad. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. -2. We're down to 15. 16, 17. 18, 19, 20, 21. 22, 23, 24. Do I have more purple buildings than her? Yes, I do. 25, 26, 27, 28. 29, 30, 31, 32. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Do I have a landing pad? Yes, I do. 38, 39, 40, 41. So I believe I have 41, but I'll have to probably count it one more time off camera. Let's go over and see what Carmen had.
Okay, I messed up in my calculations because I already had an airship bay, so it wasn't worth as many points as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it did let me steal the airship from Tim, though.
It did. You did.
But I think that the this one would have been worth more points because it would have stacked with the other ones. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see. This one would have been worth 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it would have been worth another point for that one, so that would have been 8. So it would have been worth 8 points, whereas I think that this one ended up being worth 7 points because I stole the airship from Tim. But we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. That's 31, 32,
33, 34.
34, and then 2 for all your blue buildings.
Are you ready?
Okay. 36, 38, 40.
I hate your guts.
42.
Tough, my 41.
No way!
That was really awesome.
Wow.
You know what? I should have taken that gate, and I was going to build that gate and take that observatory from you, but I wanted to build the beacon I thought it would be worth
yeah.
more points.
The gate doesn't let you choose. You would not have been able to choose.
Oh, you get to choose?
I would get to choose.
Oh,
yeah, so
okay.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't have been as bad as what I thought then. Okay. Anyways, great job, dude.
Wow, that was a really good game.
That was an excellent game. That was our best one we've done. That's actually the first time you've won. Great job.
Wow, that was close.
That was a really good one.
That was
now,
close.
We've played this like 4 times. This is, I think, a 4th or 5th game. I can't
Probably
remember.
the 5th, probably.
She hasn't beaten me yet. This is the first time she beat me at this game, and it just so happens that the camera is your friend.
It always is.
And it really makes me wonder, by taking that airship, did you end up winning by doing that?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I would have made more points if I would have actually put the green building on.
Either way, that ended up being very close. A 1-point game. That was like the closest game we have had. I had that Sky Bridge. Is that what it was called? The one where I could steal one of your cards?
I thought it was called a Sky Gate.
A warp gate or whatever.
I don't know.
Anyways, you guys know what we're talking about.
Right.
Where you could steal a card from your opponent. And I had one of those, and I gave it up because I thought that building, that other, what was it? The one that gave me the 9 points because I had the landing pad already.
Right.
I thought it was the better bet. And I wonder if I would have built the other one, if I could have stolen one of Carmen, because I could have stolen her best card, you know. And
How many points did I get from my best card?
But the thing about it is that she gets her choice of what to give me. It's not like I get a choice.
No, you wouldn't have gotten my best card.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have gotten whatever I gave you, which would have been my worst card.
So obviously it wouldn't have been as good as
No, it would have only
thought.
taken probably like 2 points from me. So.
Yeah, but you took 2 points from me. You took my.
I did.
You took my blimp. That was my only.
Your airship.
That was my only Goodyear blimp. Hey, and do you guys like Rocket Cat? I think it's hilarious. I think it's like it's gonna be a meow meow time.
Yeah,
I just think it's hilarious.
Rocket Cat.
I can't Rocket. Yeah, Rocket Cat. I can't get it out of my head. I think it's hilarious.
Personally, I think that this game actually has
Oh, you just cut me right off and go right into the review.
It actually has a learning curve, I feel like, because this was the first game I actually enjoyed, really, because the rest of the time I felt like...
Because she won.
Well,
Just be honest.
Well,
if I win, I have fun.
In this game, I feel like we kind of worked with each other a little more. I don't know. I felt like when I was trying to make the stacks fair, you know... and in previous games, I felt like I was always playing catch-up. I never had enough cogs. I never had enough of anything. And Tim's over there building all this stuff. And but even with Tim, I even felt like in previous games, the game isn't long enough. Every time it would end, and I'd be like, "What? That's it? It's not long enough." But this time I didn't feel that way for some reason.
I thought I was going to have you by keeping that one card that was going to allow me to build the 2 buildings at the end and be like, ha-ha!
I thought that was going to get me too because I knew you had that ability to build 2 buildings, and I was kind of crabby about that because I had that green card that allows you to launch it without.
Oh, yeah. That was that other one that you got to launch without having to pay anything.
Without having to have workers for it.
Yeah.
But you still had to use a turn for it. So I was like, well, that's not fair.
Hey, she only could build 1. All right, so anyways, let's talk about our actual review of the game. I don't know. I like it quite a bit, to be honest with you. I think the only negative that I really have towards this game is that the split takes time and it slows the game down. And I almost wish that this was a way where maybe you just draw 8 cards, you just give 4 cards to one player, 4 to another, and do it the way that Inish does it, where I have 4 cards, I select 1, put it down, give the 3 to my opponent. They give me their 3, I pick mine back up. Now I select 2, which could be the same one I had, or just 2 other ones. Put them down, pass the cards.
Well, that would take time also.
It would take time, but I think it would take... I don't know. I feel like that when you are the Warden of the North, I love saying that. When you are the Warden, you got something to do.
You feel like you have too much power.
When you're the Warden, you got something to do. You're thinking about, hey, here's how I'm going to split, blah, blah, blah. Everybody else is bored waiting for you to do this. And we're like, come on, do it. I mean, already, let's just do this.
He has no patience. I don't know how he plays games at all. At all, really. I
don't know why you're so rude. I'm just trying to talk about my opinion of something, and you had to get all personal on me.
He just can't wait
She
for
wins
his
a game, and then she starts strutting around, just throwing her opinion wherever she wants. But what I'm getting at is that I almost wish that it was a way where you could just like select, kind of like, you know, I think Inish does it perfectly, because I do think it slows the game down. Outside of that, I think it works really well. I love this game an awful lot. And here's the thing, and here's why I think it would work better that way too, is because when you play with 4 players, the warden is responsible for 16 cards. Holy moly. That would drive you nuts trying to separate that many cards.
Yeah, I have had some AP as the warden, I tell you what. Big time. Several times, because you're like, oh my god, if I give them this, then they're going to do this. But if I give them that, and I got to give them something good to go with it. And it's just, it's hard.
Here's the warden token. You know you want it.
Put that on the worst stack every time.
Yeah, I almost think that at the end of each round, everybody should just either discard their cards or somehow you just, you know, I don't know. I just think you just discard your cards for the cogs, and that's the only way you get them.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to take the worst card just because you need cogs. It's just how it has to work.
And sometimes when the split does happen, you just take that longer line, even though you have no intentions of building anything out of it. You just want to discard everything to get cogs, because cogs are so powerful.
Right.
So. But at the same time, if your opponent's building and you're not, you're kind of behind a little bit now, because, you know, if you're not building 6
buildings... you can only build one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, per round. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. My first impression of the game was just another game. You know, you're building things with
she
cards.
Just called it a jag.
I did. And the correct way of using jag is if it's not an innovative game, it's not really different, you know.
Mm-hmm. If it's not separating itself from the crowd, what's the purpose? It's just another game.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I still kind of feel that way, to be honest, you know, but I'm not usually real big on card games that aren't set collecting. Set collecting is pretty much the only card game I enjoy. So I'm going to throw that out there that, you know, I was like, oh, there's no board. Well, I don't know about this then. So that was my first impression. This game was better than the other games that we played. I don't know that I would enjoy it with 4 players, because like Tim said, I feel like it'd be kind of long. But it is an enjoyable game, and it's a quick game, which is, it's got that going for it.
I liked how the different factions, because it's almost like the blue and the purple work together, and then the green and the orange work together. So you try, if you build one of those factions, you want to try to build only with the other faction in your group. And there are other factions that, I mean, don't get me wrong, there is, I think, the green that will work with all of them. I know there's a card that'll give victory points depending on whatever's out there. But the point that I'm making is, if you noticed, I had it to where green and purple work together. And I noticed that...
You mean blue and purple?
Blue and purple. And I noticed that there were cards where the green and the orange worked together really well. So, you know, there is strategy going into it on what you're going to do. Plus, like what we talked about, there's strategy in the fact that you may just grab the bigger pile for the simple purpose of just discarding it all down and clean slate, grab as many cogs as you can.
There's a lot of decisions.
There are, and the reason is because you want to build as quick as you can. You want to try to build every turn if you can, because that gives you the upper hand on your opponents, because you're building, you're getting victory points, and they're not.
Then you've got the airships and the pigeons and those things thrown in, and then there are expansions that give you even more decisions, which I personally thought the game was difficult enough that I didn't want to throw in or it's not expansions.
It's the expansions. It is expansions, and that's what I was going to talk about here in a minute. Yeah. Now, the expansions, what they do is that basically they're allegiances or discord, and discord basically is just that. It's causing discord. It's causing reactions. So basically, you could pay, you know, get a discord, pay to be able to put it down, and then basically it's like you could send all your pigeons to one player. Bad things. Naughty things.
I don't like that.
She would be upset if we played that way, because it was just like that warp gate. If I take her cards, then you're taking my stuff and I'm not happy now.
Hate this game.
And the other one, basically, all you're doing is you're just building these allegiances, and you build it with workers, and then you play them, and it's just giving you victory points, like 7 points or something. Kind of meh. I think Discord sounds really cool. Allegiance sounds meh, ho-hum.
I thought Allegiance sounded impossible, or actually not really impossible, but just kind of, it's by chance if you happen to be able to build the buildings that are on there. I mean, it's really going to be rare that you can build what's listed on that card.
Discord sounded fun.
It just seems to me like, oh, I just happened to draw the card of the buildings I already built. Ha! I get 7 more points, you know?
And I believe you get your allegiances based upon the buildings you have built, if I recall correctly. So that's what she was getting at. So not from workers discarded, but the buildings you built. And it's like, I built a yellow, a blue, and an orange. I'm sorry, an orange, a blue, and a purple. This allegiance card required that. Boom, 6 points, whatever. Okay, you get the point.
Right.
My final thoughts on this are obviously, always take the gameplay into consideration, but my final thoughts, Carmen is right. This is a Jag because it is just another game. It's not doing anything super special to separate itself from the herd. But I do enjoy playing it. Just her and I. I do, just like her, I have them concerns about the 4-player game because mainly the only reason is because of the warden issue. When you're trying to cause the split and you got 16 cards, I just think there'd be way too much downtime. Now, we've never played it with 4. This is just my assumption. And based upon what I've played with 2, I can only imagine, just like what I did with photosynthesis. I still think that it's a lot of fun to play because I am a huge Tableau Builder fan. I love it with 7 Wonders. I think this one does it just as well. And it is pretty quick in the fact that the game does not last very long. Once 6 buildings are built, game over. So I think it's got more redeeming qualities than what it does have negatives, and I do like it quite a bit.
Yeah, well, the thing that I noticed the most about it is that there is a learning curve, and that actually makes the game more interesting. The more I play, am I gonna, get even better at this game and be able to maybe use the expansions and take advantage of those.
And I think that would spice it up quite a bit too if we'd use the expansions. And that's what I would like to do, but she refuses to do it. Because she's like, now you send your pigeons on to me and I'll be here.
I mean, they're mean. Like me taking your airship was mean.
You notice when it's in her favor, it's all okay to do.
Fine if I do it.
But I do. I think if you added the Discord and the allegiance to the game, I think it would actually spice it up. And it would make it probably a step above a Jag for me, and I wouldn't even label it that anymore. But she won't play that with me. So, yeah, I still say that's my final assessment. I do think it's a good game. And then you never really...
Well, yeah, it's a good game. It's not one that I'm going to say, you have to buy this right now. But I did enjoy playing it overall.
That's our final thoughts on it. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.